It was last week when the Department of Corrections introduced a proposed policy to several law enforcement agencies that would require arrestees that are under the influence first be taken to the Guam Memorial Hospital to receive a medical clearance before being detained at the Hagåtña detention facility. Today, Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio spearheaded a gathering of stakeholders to further discuss the policy and applauds DOC's Director Jose San Agustin's efforts.
And the Department of Corrections has had a couple of situations where the people who were entrusted to them were basically very high on alcohol or a drug, and it started to become a life-threatening situation. So the Department of Corrections is trying to protect.
As we reported, DOC is proposing the policy as a precaution because they do not have trained medical staff on duty to respond if an emergency arises, an issue that the Lieutenant Governor and former police officer is fully aware of.
I think the Department of Corrections clearly needs a more robust medical function, more nurses, maybe to extend more medical services from a doctor after hours, because right now it's pretty confined to 8 to 5 for the most part, Monday through Friday. So we need to expand the capabilities of DOC to have a fully functioning infirmary to meet the growing needs of the criminal justice system.
The meeting included officials from DOC, Guam Police Department, the Judiciary of Guam, the Attorney General's Office, Vice Speaker B.J. Cruz, and officials from GMH. He followed the meeting by speaking with the Governor's Chief of Staff to discuss how to take all the input and make changes to the proposed policy in order to come up with a compromise all stakeholders could agree on.
Because if we can put more focus on refining the policy to meet the liability concerns of the Department of Corrections while not putting an unnecessary financial burden on the rest of the taxpayers, that makes the most sense, I think.
Tenorio adds there's $2.3 million owed between DOC and GMH currently, and wants to find a way to shift some of those finances that will bolster capabilities to meet obligations of medical clearances, along with having the screening process and treatment facilities at DOC as opposed to GMH. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintanilla.